Hey viewers, I recently bought this cool Mosier frame here, but it's got a few dents in it. Here's one of the dents here in the top tube, and then it's also on the other side as well. Now ultimately, I want to get this frame stripped and repainted, but before I do that, I want to get these dents repaired. I'm ultimately probably going to end up having to fill them in a little bit, but before I do that, I want to try to minimize these dents as much as possible. And I'm going to use some tools called frame blocks or tube blocks, and how they work is that when the dent occurs, it pushes a spot in, creating a low spot, but it pushes the metal out and creates high spots to either side there. So what these tube blocks are going to do, they're going to wrap around and push these high spots back in, which will push this low spot back out a little bit and kind of minimize the dent a little bit. There'll still be a little bit there, but it'll be hopefully much less. And this is something you can do on a steel frame. Do not attempt this like on an aluminum frame or a titanium frame, or a carbon frame won't dent, it just breaks. But so on a steel frame, this is something that you can do to help repair dents in the tubes. And then frame blocks come in different sizes for different sizes of tubes. These are 1 inch, these are 1/8 inch, and these are 1/4 inch. So they come in different ones, so depending on the size of your tubes is what set that you are going to need. These ones are aluminum, but you can also make frame blocks or tube blocks out of wood as well. Now to use the frame blocks, you're going to need a vise, and then you're going to want to grease everything up really well. So grease the insides of the frame blocks like this, and make sure you get a lot of grease in there. You want these things to slide real smoothly, and get them really good greased, and then go ahead and grease up the frame where you're going to be working as well. If you don't grease these things, the frame blocks can really chew up the tubing there. So you want them to slide really well. And it's still most likely going to really mess up the paint, but since I'm going to be repainting this thing anyway, I'm not that concerned. Dents right there, so I'm just going to slide the frame blocks right there and put this in the vise. And I'm going to work, I'm not just going to immediately clamp this thing down all the way. I'm going to work on rolling it back and forth. So it's going to kind of roll over the high spots there a little bit. I can actually feel it get tighter in there like this. And I'm working on rolling that dent out, rolling those high spots out. Just tighten a little bit and roll it. Tighten a little bit and roll it. And eventually it's going to get to where these just are going to be straight up against each other and they're not going to tighten anymore. And now for the reveal. Pull this out of here. Pull these frame blocks off. And yeah, because it's definitely taken some of that paint off there. So after rolling the frame, this dent here is much less prominent than it had been. And this one is almost completely gone. There's a slight little dent in there, but it's much smaller than it had been. Well, now that I've rolled these dents out as much as I can, the next thing is going to be to fill it. I'll sand it down to like bare metal there and then fill it in. And things I can fill it in like silver solder, Bondo, JB Weld. And so the type of filler I'm going to use is dependent on what I'm going to do ultimately with the frame. Am I going to paint it or powder coat it? So I have to find a filler that's going to work with whatever the cover is going to be. But I haven't decided that yet, so that's down the road. Anyway, hope you found this useful or interesting. If you did, please give my video a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to my channel, click the big subscribe button. You'll see new videos to come out, and I'm always coming out with new videos. I'm over on Facebook, RJ the Bike Guy. Go over there, like that page. I post a lot of stuff over there. And I have a webpage, rjthebikeguy.com. Go over there, subscribe to that page. I have my videos all categorized, and I have forums where you can ask repair questions. Anyway, Thank you very much for watching.